Hello guys, welcome back to Anime Moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Renegade Immortal based on novel. So let's start. At the moment the sixth door shattered, Wang Lin walked in. I want to meet the demon general. Although his voice was calm, there was a sense of majesty that slowly spread out. Kill. Roars filled with killing intent came from the mouths of thousands of demon soldiers. Their order was to kill anyone that dared to break in when the demon general was in closed-door cultivation. Wang Lin was calm as he faced thousands of demon soldiers, and his eyes became cold. He jumped off the celestial sword, then his hand formed a seal and he waved it. A strange wind suddenly appeared and formed a tornado in the square. It quickly moved across the square and forcibly created a path through the thousands of demon soldiers. Wang Lin stepped directly past the square and arrived before the fifth door. He didn't stop at all, his hand formed a seal, the celestial spiritual energy in his body activated, and he pressed it on the fifth door. With a bang, the fifth door exploded. The powerful impact caused the shattered pieces of the door to fly out in all directions like a powerful storm. Past the fifth door, tens of thousands of demon soldiers had already learned that someone was trying to break into the demon general's palace and rushed over. At the moment the fifth door collapsed, more than 10,000 demon soldiers let out roars, and at the same time, their demonic spiritual energy unified in a mysterious way, creating a very oppressive mass of demonic spiritual energy. At the moment the fifth door shattered, this demonic spiritual energy shot out like crazy. Even with Wang Lin's cultivation, he had to back up a few steps to avoid it. At the same time, he touched his bag of holding and the three nameless sword sheaths from planet Suzaku flew out. Shortly after, 3 rays of sword energy flew out from the sword sheaths like 3 angry dragons and collided with the demonic spiritual energy. A series of explosions echoed throughout the area, making it feel like the entire ground was trembling. Wang Lin's body moved like lightning through the door with the celestial sword before him to make way. The tens of thousands of demon soldiers formed a wall of demonic spiritual energy to prevent Wang Lin from going farther. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he took out the restriction flag. With one shake, countless restrictions flew out like black dragons and circled around him. Borrowing the sword energy from the sword sheaths, the sword energy from the celestial sword, and the black restriction gas from the restriction flag, Wang Lin broke through all obstacles and continued forward. At this moment, the thousands of demon soldiers from the fifth door rushed in from behind him and surrounded Wang Lin. Lord Demon General, Wang Lin requests an audience. Wang Lin's voice slowly spread out. He believed that even if the Demon General was in closed-door cultivation, he would still be able to hear him. But as time passed, the Demon General didn't show any reaction. At this moment, Wang Lin was surrounded on all sides by demon soldiers. So far, he tried not to kill, but now he was forced to kill. Facing a siege, Wang Lin raised his thumb and the finger of death showed its full power. The sky and earth changed colors, and every demon soldier within 1,000 feet trembled before their bodies withered. All of the flesh, blood, and demonic spiritual energy were sucked into Wang Lin's thumb. Wang Lin's body moved like lightning toward the fourth door. At this moment, there was no one who could make him pause for even half a second. In an instant, his thumb landed on the fourth gate. The fourth door collapsed with a bang, and at this moment, an old figure stepped out from behind it. Powerful demonic spiritual energy came from this old figure. This demonic spiritual energy turned into a giant python and attempted to devour Wang Lin. At the same time, an old voice shouted, "Back down!" Wang Lin's thumb touched the python made of demonic spiritual energy. At this moment, Wang Lin was forced back one step, but the python let out a miserable cry and its body collapsed inch by inch. After the python collapsed, the old figure trembled, let out a groan, and his body was forced back several steps before he stabilized himself. Wang Lin took a step and directly walked past the fourth gate. Aside from the countless demon soldiers before him, there was also a white-haired old man. Wang Lin wasn't unfamiliar with this old man. He was the same person that came to the military camp with the steward over a year ago. The old man's face was completely pale and revealed a look of disbelief. He had seen Wang Lin more than a year ago, and back then their cultivation levels were roughly the same. However, when they met again today, Wang Lin's cultivation level had increased by a huge amount. If it wasn't for the fact that he was borrowing the power of the demon soldiers, had opened all the seals in his body, and had basically launched a sneak attack, Wang Lin wouldn't have even been forced back a single step. Wang Lin stepped into the area and used the power of the Finger of Death once more. The old man let out a roar as all the demonic spiritual energy in his body surged to summon another giant python. His body fused with the giant python, then it attempted to devour Wang Lin once more. Since Lord Demon General won't meet me, don't blame me for slaughtering my way through. Wang Lin's eyes became cold as the grey slaughter gas appeared between his fingers and quickly spread out. His eyes suddenly started glowing red. They contained a monstrous amount of killing intent. At this moment, Wang Lin used the celestial slaughter art without any restraint. The slaughter aura covered the heavens and earth. Wang Lin didn't fight the python but jumped into the demon soldiers. Every time he moved his hand, a spell came out and demon soldiers died. Including all the demon soldiers from the 5th and 6th doors, tens of thousands of demon soldiers surrounded Wang Lin. Their demonic spiritual energy worked together to create formations. Once these formations were complete, they would immediately condense into either demonic beasts or demonic gas. There were series of explosions and collisions as the formations continued to attack Wang Lin. Facing these demon soldiers, Wang Lin understood that one person didn't have enough power to defy the heavens. Unless one's cultivation was heavenly, it would be very difficult to break out from these formations formed by tens of thousands of demon soldiers. He could kill one person, 10, 100, 1,000, or 10,000 people. But once he was finished killing, all his celestial spiritual energy would be exhausted. Wang Lin's magical treasures, celestial sword, half-moon blade, restriction flag, and sword sheaths were controlled by his divine sense to begin an endless slaughter. Compared to these magic treasures, the celestial slaughter art had the biggest advantage. Every time the celestial slaughter art killed someone, it would gain a bit of strength. Although maybe only 1 out of every 100 would condense grey gas, as more and more people were killed, the gap was narrowing. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with killing intent as he used various spells. However, there were too many demonic soldiers around him, and when their demonic spiritual energy merged, they could activate extremely powerful attacks. So even with Wang Lin's peak late-stage soul transformation cultivation, his celestial spiritual energy was being used up at a very quick pace. Wang Lin slapped his bag of holding and a large amount of celestial jades flew out and started circling him. He quickly sucked all of the celestial jades dry to recover the celestial spiritual energy in his body, and this cycle continued, causing him to use a large amount of celestial spiritual energy. Demonic Finger. Wang Lin didn't activate the demonic ideal but used his peak late-stage soul transformation cultivation to activate the second killing spell. The demonic spiritual energy in the air was quickly pushed away by the energy from the demonic finger. Wang Lin's finger pressed down like the god of death, and the demonic spiritual energy from his finger drilled into the demon soldiers, causing their bodies to explode. Bursts of blood-colored light covered the heavens and earth. Wang Lin rushed forward and carved a path through tens of thousands of demon soldiers and charged directly at the third gate. With one finger, the flesh and blood on the ground gathered to form a dragon made of blood. The dragon rushed toward where the demonic finger was pointing. The old man inside the python wanted to stop the blood dragon, but at this moment his body suddenly exploded. He died to the demonic finger. The blood dragon created by the demonic finger landed on the third door. After a series of loud rumbles, the third door collapsed. As the door collapsed, tens of thousands of demon soldiers charged out from the third gate. Along with them were 6 white-haired old men. The moment they appeared, they locked onto Wang Lin. Wang Lin let out a sigh. This was his limit with his cultivation. None of the 5 elders that came out were weaker than late-stage soul transformation cultivators. Adding on the tens of thousands of demon soldiers around him, Wang Lin knew that he had to use his final move if he wished to break through the second door. The ace killing spell Sichu Nan taught him. The most powerful killing spell that has heaven-shattering power infinitely close to a low-quality celestial spell. The third killing spell. The demon spirit land being all about military power is indeed true. If I had hundreds of thousands of demon soldiers at the core formation stage, then even an ascendant cultivator would lose. If I had millions of core formation demon soldiers, some commanders, and a general at the cultivation level of the chief commander, I could even battle against a late-stage ascendant cultivator. It would be the same if I had the power of a demon emperor with tens of millions of demon soldiers, some demon generals, and a few commanders. I wouldn't even be afraid of those that have stepped into the yin and yang stage. Wang Lin let out a sigh as he faced the tens of thousands of demon soldiers and the 5 elders equal to late-stage soul transformation cultivators. He then raised his right pinky and slowly drew a circle. Underworld. Wang Lin softly said one word. The underworld finger, the killing spell of the 3 killing spells, was something infinitely close to a low-quality celestial spell. Even Sichu Nan was very hesitant in teaching this to Wang Lin. With one finger, the sky suddenly darkened and lightning struck down. At the same time, the sky seemed to be opened by a giant pair of hands as a giant mountain and river painting appeared, covering the horizon. This underworld finger activated Wang Lin's domain. Countless strands of grey gas flew out from the scroll and condensed at an unimaginable speed into a second underworld finger. Wang Lin's hair moved without any wind, his eyes were filled with killing intent, and grey gas surrounded his body. He was connecting with the second underworld finger that was created from the life and death scroll. With one finger, the tens of thousands of demon soldiers surrounding Wang Lin all trembled as strands of grey gas came out from the tops of their heads and fused with the underworld finger from the life and death scroll. At the same time, Wang Lin rose into the air and fused together with that underworld finger. At this moment, the only thing left was that finger. A finger pointed at the underworld. After fusing with the underworld finger, Wang Lin suddenly charged out toward the second gate. Those 5 old men who had cultivation levels equal to late-stage soul transformation cultivators were shocked by the power of the underworld finger, but they clenched their teeth and activated the demonic spiritual energy in their bodies to block Wang Lin. However, they underestimated the power of the underworld finger. Back when Wang Lin was at the mid-stage of soul transformation, he was able to fight against Sun Dao, who was at the mid-stage of ascendant. Although he lost in the end, he gave Sun Dao a big shock. At this moment, Wang Lin's cultivation was at the peak of the late stage of soul transformation, so the underworld finger was enough to threaten ascendant cultivators. This was Wang Lin's true ace. With one finger, the 5 elders all coughed out blood. The 5 of them involuntarily backed up and weren't able to stop Wang Lin even half a step. Before Wang Lin even closed in, the second door was destroyed by the pressure of his underworld finger. There were no demon soldiers behind the second door, only one person. This person was very small, but he had eyes like lightning. At the moment the second door collapsed and Wang Lin's underworld finger closed in, he let out a roar. His hand formed seals like a cultivator, and the seals stacked up and then he pushed them forward. There was a sound like a storm sweeping past the area as Wang Lin's underworld finger stopped 3 inches from his hand. A small ball formed between Wang Lin's underworld finger and this person's hand. This ball was completely white with black lightning moving within it. The small person withstood for 3 breaths of time before being forced back and leaving 2 deep marks on the ground. He didn't move back by choice but was pushed back by Wang Lin's underworld finger. He had to back up, because if he continued to resist, he knew he wouldn't be able to withstand it. If he tried to block it by force, the only result would be his body exploding. He was pushed back more than 100 feet before he let out a roar and stopped himself. The underworld finger from Wang Lin was 3 inches away from him and continued to suck away at his vitality like a vortex. Commander Wang. I'm the number 1 chief commander under the Demon General. What exactly do you want? I want to meet the Demon General. Just as he finished speaking, a large amount of grey gas came out from the tens of thousands of demon soldiers behind him. The grey gas came from all directions and quickly entered his body. This was the power of the underworld finger. Large amounts of grey gas entered his body. Wang Lin knew in his heart that each strand was a life. With the grey gas inside his body, the power of the underworld finger reached its peak. The small person immediately felt the peak power of the underworld finger. His expression changed greatly as he continued to back up. This time he was pushed back to the first door, and with a loud bang, the first door collapsed. At the same time, the small person coughed out a mouthful of blood and was thrown aside. At this moment, a tall figure came out of the first door. He didn't talk at all and directly threw a punch at Wang Lin's underworld finger. In that instant, Wang Lin clearly felt the battle intent inside the punch. 10 collapse fist intent. The fist intent came crashing down like a flood. The first collapse, second collapse, third collapse, in the blink of an eye, all 10 collapses of fist intent surged forth, one stronger than the last. 7th collapse, 8th collapse, 9th collapse. The endless amount of fist intent seemed to be fused with the heavens and earth as it came crashing down. The grey gas thickened, and the killing intent in Wang Lin's eyes reached a monstrous level. The 10th collapse. There was a loud bang, then ripples appeared on the ground between Wang Lin and the figure and quickly spread out in all directions. It turned into something like a wave on the ocean and spread out for more than 5 kilometers. Wang Lin immediately felt an unimaginable force coming at him. A series of cracking sounds came from the pinky with the underworld finger and the force spread across his body. Wang Lin's body was pushed back by this force and 2 skid marks was created by him. He was forced back 30 feet before he took a step back and stopped himself. As the shockwave spread out, those demon soldiers that had their lives taken by the underworld finger turned to dust. In addition to all of this, every building within 5 kilometers collapsed. The collapsing bodies and buildings created an air blast that spread out very far. Only those several people that had cultivation equal to that of soul transformation cultivators or higher were able to survive in this storm. At the same time, the slaughter gas formed from the celestial slaughter out flew toward Wang Lin from all the pieces of scattered flesh. What a powerful spell! A low voice came from before Wang Lin. After the dust settled, the demon general's large figure was revealed. After he finished speaking, his body wobbled as he forced himself from being knocked backwards. The demonic spiritual energy inside his body moved like crazy to stop himself from being sent flying back. His eyes were like lightning as he stepped forward and crossed 30 feet in an instant. Then his palm reached out and hit the ground. This palm created a gust of wind, and the area within 5 kilometers seemed to have become an ocean. The entire sea let out a roar from the demon general's palm and charged toward Wang Lin like crazy. Withstand my 100-wave demon sea and then you are qualified to talk with me. Wang Lin's body backed up and he immediately felt the change in demonic spiritual energy around him. Demonic spiritual energy was normally incorporeal, but this spell seemed to turn it into a real ocean. That palm caused the ocean to surge and crash down upon Wang Lin. Compared to the 10 collapses, this 100-wave demon sea was even more powerful. The intent contained inside it was even stronger than the fist intent in the 10th collapse punch. Facing the sea of demonic spiritual energy, Wang Lin suddenly had an idea flash into his mind. Back on planet Suzaku, there was a rumor that a powerful cultivator used a spell to make the sea into a mist, thus creating the Sea of Devil's unique appearance. When Wang Lin heard of it back then, although he was shocked, he more or less didn't believe it. However, today he personally saw the demon general turn the invisible demonic spiritual energy into a visible sea. Although this shocked him, it mostly made him think very deeply about this matter. As the demon sea surged, waves began to stack up on top of each other until there were 30 of them, and Wang Lin was focused on continuing to back up. Backing up didn't mean he had failed, it was him buying time to think of a way to break it. The 30 waves of the demon sea stacked together and chased after Wang Lin. Wang Lin's hands moved quickly, creating restrictions to prevent the waves from closing in. However, these restrictions were like thin paper before the waves. They quickly shattered and dissipated into specks of black light. As the waves became more fierce, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He was about to take out some blood jades from Yao Shishua's bag to help him resist when the golden symbol he absorbed from the second statue suddenly appeared in his head. This symbol suddenly imprinted in his mind. But Wang Lin ignored it and took out a large amount of blood jades. He crushed them and waves of blood light filled the area. This blood-colored light covered Wang Lin's entire body. At this moment, the 30 waves arrived and landed on the blood-colored light. There was a series of rumbles like angry waves hitting on a rock. The blood-colored light lasted for several breaths of time before immediately collapsing, and the waves closed in. As the waves closed in, the golden symbol in Wang Lin's mind became even clearer and more profound. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Having reached his current cultivation level meant that his entire body had been tempered by celestial spiritual energy and he had full mastery over his mind, so random things shouldn't appear in his mind during battle. But at this moment, the golden symbol flashed violently in his mind. It seemed ready to break free and fly out from Wang Lin's mind. With the interference of the golden symbol, he couldn't think clearly. Even the movement of celestial spiritual energy inside his body was affected by the flashing, golden symbol. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Wind does not come from an empty cave for no reason, and the symbol might not have appeared in his head for no reason. He decided to open his mind and his hand sent out a restriction. The grey gas gathered before his body and his right finger quickly swiped across it. With one stroke, the grey gas twisted and formed a symbol. After drawing the symbol, Wang Lin felt his mind become extremely clear, and he had the urge to release the power inside him. The moment the symbol appeared, the demon general's eyes narrowed. From his view, this symbol had no power, but if Wang Lin was using it at this critical moment, it couldn't be normal. Wang Lin's finger didn't stop, it moved once more over the symbol. With another stroke, he created a two-stroke symbol. The demon general's eyes became even more serious. When that symbol formed, he immediately felt like he was facing the heavens. Wang Lin's finger moved once more and the three-stroke symbol was created. At this moment, the golden symbol in his mind melted into a golden force that fused with the three-stroke golden symbol. Just at this moment, a powerful force came from the symbol. This force was extremely powerful, and it caused the demon general's heart to tighten. He quickly increased the 30 waves into 60 waves and sent them forward. After a series of rumbles, the symbol met the 30 waves, causing the waves to collapse, but the symbol dimmed after doing so. The golden symbol then collided with the next 30 waves, and they cancelled each other out. But just at this moment, 3 strands of grey gas appeared where the symbol disappeared. They pierced through the demon sea and charged directly at the demon general. The demon general's eyes narrowed and he shouted, "Armor, activate!" With one word, a curtain of demonic spiritual energy suddenly appeared 7 feet before him. The 3 strands of grey gas collided with the curtain and shook violently before being bounced back. Now they were slightly dimmer than before. The demon general's eyes lit up, then he laughed and took a step forward. What a powerful symbol spell! Wang Lin, I have indeed underestimated you. However, it seems the symbol has a lot more to it. How about you display it all and have a battle with me? Wang Lin coldly asked, Where is 13? We'll talk after we finish fighting. The demon general laughed and his eyes lit up like a torch. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he backed up several steps and said, Once I use my final ace, you will die for sure. Oh? Then show it to me. If it can really kill me, I'll be satisfied. The demon general's eyes lit up as he created another 40 waves that crashed toward Wang Lin. If I were to kill you, I would have no way to stay in this sky demon country. Watch carefully, you will know yourself if you can withstand this blow. Wang Lin didn't try to take on the 40 waves. Instead, he flew hundreds of feet into the air and suddenly looked down. The demon general's eyes revealed a mysterious light, and with a thought, the 40 waves returned to him. Right now the 40 waves moved around him like 40 dragons, and the current him was like a demonic sea god. Wang Lin floated in the air and closed his eyes. The demon general was far stronger than he thought. The 10 collapse punch was only one of the demon general's spells. This 100-wave demon sea should be his true killing move. As for whether the demon general had any more hidden abilities, although Wang Lin was curious, he didn't want to find out. Although this person's cultivation was only at the peak of the late stage of soul transformation like Wang Lin's, his spells were far more powerful than Wang Lin's. Wang Lin had to admit that he was lacking in terms of spells. Even when using his treasures, he wasn't confident that he could win. This was the first time in hundreds of years that Wang Lin had faced someone who had the same cultivation level as him, and not only was he not confident that he could win, if he was just a bit careless, he would lose. Right now he was also inside the Demon General's city. His goal was to save 13, and if he suffered any injuries, the chance of the rescuing 13 would disappear. After Wang Lin learned he couldn't win, he had the idea of a trick. He floated in the air with his eyes closed and recalled the giant handprint he saw in the celestial realm. Back then, he spent a lot time next to it to learn from it, and then later he used it against Red Butterfly. However, that palm only had the shape and no power behind it. However, this spell was something no one could see through. After all, the moment it appears, its pressure is already at an unimaginable degree. That giant handprint slowly condensed in his mind, and his mentality changed to the way it was back when he was comprehending it. At this moment, his eyes suddenly opened up, and they showed an inexplicable color. With one gaze, he looked down on the ground and felt like he was looking over the entire world. As for the Demon General, he now looked like an ant. When the Demon General saw this gaze, his heart shook violently for the first time. This gaze is something I only feel when I look at the ancient demon in the temple. It is something not even the Demon Emperor possesses. The Demon General's body trembled, and the waves around him began to rotate out of control. Wang Lin reached out with his right hand and pressed down. This palm caused the sky to darken, and various mysterious forces gathered below Wang Lin and formed an incredibly large palm print. Then he pressed down his palm. The Demon General's body shook violently and the waves around him began to surge like crazy. At this moment, everything before him was replaced by that giant palm print. The moment the palm print appeared, it fell from the sky. A feeling that he couldn't defeat it, couldn't resist it, and couldn't even dodge it appeared in his heart. It was as if this palm was the heavens and earth, this palm could destroy the world, and this palm could destroy all life. This feeling enveloped his heart, and his body trembled involuntarily. Although this palm had not yet fallen, the pressure it gave off destroyed his will to battle. The Demon General struggled to let out a roar, and an unyielding feeling appeared in his heart. As he stared at the rapidly descending palm, battle intent erupted from inside him. Even if you are the heavens, I have to fight. Even if you can destroy the world, I must fight. Even if you can destroy all life, you can't destroy the will to fight in my heart. His body suddenly stood straight and he let out an unyielding roar. The waves around the Demon General turned into countless sea dragons that charged at the sky. When the palm print landed, the Demon General's battle intent reached its peak, but at this moment, a gentle breeze swept by him. The palm landed on the Demon General and caused no change. The Demon General was startled. This expression hadn't appeared on his face in a long time. What followed after was the uncontrollable, lingering sense of fear that one gets after walking by death's door. You are already dead. Wang Lin landed from the air and looked at the Demon General. The Demon General's expression was complex as he looked at Wang Lin with doubt in his heart. What spell is this? He asked. Wang Lin's expression was neutral as he calmly said, this spell has no name. The Demon General pondered for a bit and then the waves around his body quickly disappeared. He looked at Wang Lin and said, you haven't fully learned this spell. Wang Lin's expression didn't change and he only said one thing. You can try again. The Demon General was very uncertain. Although he suspected that Wang Lin could only perform the illusion of the attack without any real power behind it, it was only his suspicion. Even if he was 90% confident, just remembering the life and death feeling he had, he wasn't willing to risk it. Even thinking about that palm caused his heart to tremble. The Demon General pondered for a long time before saying, this is your ace. Wang Lin didn't explain. He knew that the more he explained, the more openings he would show. He knew that the spell was only an illusion and that anyone would be suspicious. However, suspicion will remain suspicion, it was something the Demon General couldn't confirm. That's why he didn't speak and only calmly looked at the Demon General. The Demon General let out a sigh. He still didn't have the courage to risk that 90% doubt against that 10% truth. If it turned out to be real, he could die. It could be that even with his cultivation, if he were to use the spell's true power, he would suffer great backlash, maybe even to the point where his body can't stand it and will collapse, so he only used an illusion. This was the only explanation that the Demon General was willing to believe. His suspicion was still there, but it was forcibly suppressed by him. Wang Lin calmly asked, "Where is 13? I'm refining a magical treasure that requires 18 people with strong bodies. I went into closed-door cultivation this time to refine the treasure. Your follower, 13, is later in line, so he hasn't been refined yet." Then the demon general slowly said, "I can give him back to you because you are my commander, but you killed tens of thousands of demon soldiers and destroyed 5 kilometers of the city. This matter I can't let go so easily." Wang Lin's expression didn't change at all and he said, "What do you want?" The demon general slowly said, "In 3 months, I need to return to the capital of the Sky Demon country for a debriefing. During that time, there will be a competition between the demon generals. If you promise to help me, I'll forget about the matter of you killing my demon soldiers. Otherwise, even if I die, you won't be able to gain a foothold in this country." At this moment, he considered Wang Lin his equal. Not counting that illusionary palm, just the fact that Wang Lin could break his 10 collapse punch and withstand the 100-wave demon seat caused Wang Lin's standing in the demon general's mind to skyrocket. This person has the same cultivation level as me. If it wasn't for the fact that his spells can't compare to mine, this would be a difficult fight. Thinking about spells, he suddenly remembered that palm, and the idea that Wang Lin's spells weren't a match for his completely disappeared. Compared to that palm, my spells are nothing. I'm afraid only the Demon Emperor can match that spell, the Demon General sighed. Wang Lin pondered a bit and nodded. The Demon General let out a laugh. This laugh washed away all the unpleasantness from before. He smiled and said, "Good. From today onward, I, Left-Wing General Mo Lehai, name you as my only Vice-General. If I can place in the top 3 among the Demon Generals, I'll ask the Demon Emperor to make you a general. At that time, you will have your own city and 100,000 demon soldiers at your command. You will definitely have a bigger advantage than a majority of the foreigners." With that, his right hand reached out and created a black vortex. There were specks of light inside the vortex. The demon general casually pointed at one of the specks, causing it to collapse. Then 13's body flew out and landed before Wang Lin. His remark just now was to appease Wang Lin and use the position of general to make Wang Lin try his hardest. At the same time, he didn't use 13 to threaten him. This showed that he was treating Wang Lin with sincerity. However, this was only because he saw Wang Lin's strength. Feeling the power of that palm was what made him give Wang Lin such treatment. Although he suspected that palm, in the end, it was only suspicion, and as long as he could never confirm it, he wouldn't risk it. The more intelligent someone is, the more likely they are to think this way. Although the demon general had an open personality, having reached this level of cultivation meant that he wasn't dumb. In fact, he wouldn't lose to Wang Lin in cleverness. "I'll return in 3 months." Wang Lin's divine sense swept past 13. He found that 13 had no injuries and was only in a coma. He grabbed 13, took a step into the air, and disappeared over the horizon. The demon general had his hand behind his back as he looked into the sky and shook his head. The 5 people who were equal to late-stage soul transformation cultivators rushed in. When the 5 of them watched the fight earlier, their hearts were completely absorbed in it, and they weren't able to pull themselves out for a long time. The 5 of them only recovered now that Wang Lin had left. One of the 5 said, "Demon General, I believe that his palm strike is fake. If you were to act, you could definitely kill him. Even though I know that there is a 90% chance that that palm is a bluff, I can't bring myself to risk it. Even if he only knows how to use an illusion, to make me hesitate so much means that he is indeed clever. To make it so what's real looks fake and what's fake looks real, this person can't be underestimated." Also, 1 year ago, against my 10 collapse punch, he had to use a secret technique to withstand up to 7 collapses. Now, 1 year later, his cultivation has increased exponentially. He and Commander Yao disappeared around the same time, yet only he came back, so there's something hidden there. But it has nothing to do with me. The demon general's words were directed at the 5 of them, but he was mostly muttering to himself. The 5 of them silently pondered as they all raised their heads to look at where Wang Lin went to. A very complex feeling involuntarily appeared in their hearts. Wang Lin floated in the air and spread out his divine sense. He found the dark prison inside the city and appeared before it with the unconscious 13. This dark prison was underground. Although there were restrictions placed all over the area, none of them besides the ones in the depths of the prison could stop Wang Lin. With Hu Pao's status, he couldn't have been locked away in the deeper part of the prison. Wang Lin spread out his divine sense but was unable to find any trace of Hu Pao. He let out a sigh and then disappeared without a trace. Wang Lin moved extremely fast. Now that his cultivation had reached the peak of the late stage of soul transformation, his speed was several times faster than before. Even though he was carrying 13, it didn't take long for him to return to the soul refining tribe. Wang Lin appeared in a flash of light dozens of kilometers away from the soul refining tribe. Before him, he could see the soul refining tribe not far off. Although the soul refining tribe didn't expand during this year, all of the members had been working hard on their cultivation. This 10-kilometer area was all under the control of the soul refining tribe. There was a thick, black fog in the sky above this 10-kilometer area. Sometimes soul fragments moved within this black fog, and sometimes ghostly wails slowly echoed inside it. The people inside the soul refining tribe had gotten accustomed to the ghostly wails from the black fog. The louder the wails, the more soul fragments were inside. A majority of the people inside the soul refining tribe were cultivating right now. They all had their souls out as soul fragments flew out of the soul flags and into the black fog. At the same time, soul fragments returned from the black fog and went back inside the soul flags. After Wang Lin appeared, he took one step and charged toward the soul refining tribe like a bolt of lightning. He let out a smile, as he had already noticed more than 10 people at 10 different locations carefully observing the area. He was very familiar with these people. Their duty was to stand guard outside. Wang Lin's divine sense spread out, and within 50 kilometers, there were more than 100 people on guard. It didn't take long for Wang Lin to arrive about 1,000 feet away from the tribe. This was where he stopped. After he stopped, a powerful gust of wind followed him and blew toward the tribe. The moment he stopped, someone immediately saw Wang Lin. After a moment of shock, their eyes were filled with excitement. Ancestor! A shout filled with joy quickly awakened everyone from their cultivation. In almost an instant, all of the tribe members stood up. Ouyang Hua turned into a cloud of black mist as he charged through the tribe. He stopped about 10 feet before Wang Lin with a face full of excitement and respectfully said, "Welcome back, Ancestor." At the same time, all of the tribe members knelt down on one knee and said, in a chorus, "Welcome back, Ancestor." This video will end here.